Thank you guys for all joining. I'm here to answer any questions you might have about digital marketing, the 10-hour 10K work month, or AI. I really appreciate you guys always joining my lives and asking me questions. That's why I do what I do. So thanks, guys, and thanks for joining. How's everybody's Thursday? Sorry if it's noisy, my husband's vacuuming. We're both working, you know. How are we doing? You're starting digital products for your Etsy and you're wondering if it's too saturated. I did actually just make a video about this. I haven't posted it yet though, I don't think. Sometimes I forget. I will like batch create videos and then I forget which ones I actually post. But so I like to say there's no such thing as competition, right? The only competition really is against yourself. You'll never find a space or a niche or a product that doesn't have competition, that doesn't have saturation. Everything's saturated and nothing is saturated, right? So, and you're just going to talk, that's just a way to talk yourself out of something rather than just actually trying to do it and getting the courage to actually push through and motivation to push through. It's like, okay, well, it is going to be a lot really tough. Also, it's really saturated, so it's just not going to work. Everything is saturated and nothing is saturated. You'll never find something that doesn't have competition. And if you're not willing to deal with a little competition and be unique and adapt and pivot and grow, then creating stuff and being a business person just isn't for you. How do you handle a client that wants content creation? I recommend Suna. It is a company that you can send products to and they'll do content creation for you. I also tell them to look at UGC agencies. Do you think data analytics is saturated? Nothing is saturated, right, guys? And everything, I mean, there's a demand and there's a need for everything, and there's always a paying customer out there, and there's always a client that needs help. Just like if you're looking at job listings or work on Upwork, for Facebook ads, there's hundreds of listings, hundreds. If it was saturated, there would be nothing, there wouldn't even be a single job description. Everything is saturated and nothing is saturated. It's just, you can't think like that. It's like real estate agents, right? That shit is so saturated. There's so many real estate agents, but people just starting out can be really successful at real estate if they're actually just putting in the hard work in the beginning and building up a clientele and, you know, putting in the groundwork and actually making it happen rather than like, oh, I'm a real estate agent, houses and listings and buyers and sellers are just going to fall in my lap. Like, shit's not going to happen because, you know, there's a lot of competition in real estate, but people make a shit ton of money. Brand new real estate agents right off the bat, the ones that actually go out there and do the groundwork, will make money. So, you know, people are making money doing stuff every day that's considered extremely saturated. You'll never find anything that doesn't have some sort of competition. And it's like, even if you did find something that had zero competition, you found a secret whatever. First of all, the market wouldn't even be aware of it, so it would be hard to sell it regardless. And then, even if it was something you could sell like wildfire, the very next day you'd have 5 to 10 competitors, 5 to 500 competitors trying to beat you to the punch, because that's the digital age that we live in. That's what's really hard about print on demand, if anybody's ever done print on demand. You'll create really good ideas, and then the second you have one that starts trending, you'll see 5 other people create the exact same one as you. There's nothing you can do about it, right? That's why branding is so important with print on demand. Sarah, you're in the course, and you're struggling with creating a portfolio and finding Upwork jobs that are a good fit. Most jobs listed want a lot, and you don't know how to approach that as a beginner. I'm a little lost. Well, first you have to tell yourself that you know a lot more than a lot of the other people that are probably applying for these jobs. You know a lot more from the course than what I'm telling you a lot of people that are applying for these jobs know. So don't second guess yourself and don't put yourself in a hole that you can't get out of in a mindset wise. All you can do is apply, put your best foot forward, and apply to every single position as possible, even if you don't think it's a good fit. I've applied to so many that even asked, that said, like, didn't even say remote work or contract work. They were salary positions. And I wrote in the cover letter why hiring a contract worker is better than a salaried position, and I've gotten clients that way. You can't just wait for, the ideal customer to come around and to apply for them. You just have to apply for all of them, and hope for the best, and be transparent. Be like, hey, I'm still new to this, but I'm fresh when it comes off the gate for the education part of it and the knowledge based. I don't have any old bad habits that I'd be bringing in from previous clients. I'd be starting fresh with you. And I have certain strategy ideas that I know could really help you guys take off. So don't be scared. Worst case scenario is they won't pick you, and then you're right where you already started. So a little idea I always have is always think, okay, what's the worst case scenario, right? What's the worst thing that could happen? And then once you realize what the worst thing could happen is, and it's not that bad, it becomes easier, right? So it's like, say you apply to 30 positions and you don't hear back from a single one. That's worst case scenario. And it's like, okay, well, I'll apply to 30 more. Or you get a call and one of the clients, you book a call with them and the client starts talking to you and you've got no idea what you're talking about, and you're really confused and you feel like you sound like an idiot. Okay, well, you got it over with. That was your first call. Client's like, well, this person doesn't know what she's talking about. And you move on. You're done. I've messed up many of my first calls. My very first client fired me, almost tried to sue me. It is what it is. It's business. It's a part of business. You can mess up. You're human, and everything's a learning experience. So when you have your first call and you mess it up, it's like, okay, you know what? Got it out of the way. Like, now I know what to anticipate moving forward. Do you know anything about stock market or cryptocurrency? No. I mean, I've got a lot of crypto, but I'm not proficient in that space. I used to be a lot more, but I'm not anymore. I have investments everywhere. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Real estate, stocks, crypto. I'm investing in a business. Hi, Holly. So what do you recommend to somebody who has zero skills and zero experience? Well, first you have to learn a skill, and there are lots of ways you can learn a skill. I learned Facebook ads, email marketing, online for free, watching YouTube videos. I got experience by doing work for myself, and then you can also do work for friends and family. You can build case studies and portfolios that way, and then you can position yourself as an expert, and you can start booking work. What questions can we expect from the first call with a client? I do have a mock interview in my course. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, what the questions look like. I'm not sure where I put it, but if I can pull it up real quick, I'll read them to you. And this is for TikTok ads, but they would be relevant for Facebook ads too, because Facebook ads and TikTok ads are pretty much, the exact same thing. There's obviously some nuances to both, but they're basically the same exact thing. So any of these questions would apply to either of them. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I got it. Now, this is questions you want to ask. You want to ask the client. Okay, so I'm going to run through these really quick. This is what's in my course, so you guys are getting a freebie example here because you guys joined my live, so thank you so much. So I'm going to go through questions that a This is for Facebook. So Facebook is Instagram too. So Facebook advertising client might ask, and the respective answers you should give. Okay. So here we go. Here is, and if you're starting out, these would obviously have to be tweaked to however you see fit. So number one, how long have you been working in Facebook advertising, and what kind of experience do you have with similar clients or industries? Here's an answer. I have been working in Facebook advertising for over 5 years and have helped clients across various industries, including e-commerce, SaaS, and retail. My experience with diverse clients has allowed me to understand the unique challenges each industry faces and develop tailored strategies to drive successful outcomes. Question number two, can you share some success stories or case studies from previous clients? Absolutely. I worked with an e-commerce client in the fashion industry who was struggling with low conversion rates. We focused on optimizing their ad creatives and targeting, resulting in a 35% increase in conversion rates and a 20% decrease in cost per acquisition within 2 months. I'd be happy to share more details and other case studies if you're interested. This is really the only thing clients care about, is if you can drive them more profit. That's all they care about. So when you give examples, don't say, of previous work or anything like that. They just want to know if you can make them more money cheaper. That's it. At a lower cost per acquisition. So question number three, what is your approach to creating a Facebook advertising strategy? This is my answer. My approach begins with understanding your business goals, your target audience, and unique selling proposition. Based on this information, I develop a customized advertising strategy that aligns with your objectives, incorporates the most effective ad formats, and targets the right audience segments. Throughout the campaign, I constantly monitor the performance, I conduct A and B tests, and I optimize to ensure we achieve the desired results. Number four, how would you stay up to date with the latest trends and changes in Facebook advertising, meta advertising, Instagram advertising, same shit, or even TikTok advertising? Answer, I believe staying current with industry developments is crucial for success. I regularly attend webinars, conferences, and workshops, subscribe to industry newsletters, and participate in online forums and groups to stay informed about the latest trends, best practices, and platform updates. Number five, how do you handle targeting and audience segmentation? Answer, targeting and audience segmentation is essential for reaching the right customers. I use a combination of demographic, interest, and behavioral targeting to hone in on your ideal audience. Additionally, I leverage Facebook's custom audiences and lookalike audience features to create highly targeted segments based on your existing customers, website visitors, and email subscribers. Number six, what metrics do you consider most important for tracking the success of a Facebook advertising campaign? This is like one of their number one questions. They'll say KPIs, key profit indicators, or what do you consider, like when you're looking at a campaign or an ad account, like what are the metrics that you will look at to know where improvement needs to be made? So I say, while specific metrics depend on the campaign objectives, right? So everybody's got different objectives, whether they're generating leads or sales or awareness. So while specific metrics depend on campaign objectives, I typically prioritize metrics such as click-through rate, means the rate at which people saw the ad and actually clicked through it and to it. The cost per click, cost per acquisition, meaning cost per purchase or cost per lead generation, and then return on ad spend, as well as the conversion rate. So return on ad spend is we put in $100, we got $1,000 worth of purchases. These metrics provide insights into efficiency of the ad spend and overall effectiveness of the campaign. Number seven, how would you optimize and improve performance? This is another one. These two questions are like the most talked about ones. It's like, how do you know if our campaigns are doing well? And then this one is, okay, now you know where we need improvement based on our metrics. How would you go about optimizing and improving our performance? So I continuously monitor performance and I use data-driven insights to make informed optimizations. This includes A and B testing, ad creatives, copy, targeting, and bidding strategies. Based on test results, I adjust and refine the campaigns to maximize return on investment. I didn't put this in there, but I would also say things like, and I would duplicate and scale best performing combinations of audiences and ad sets. Number 8, can you explain the different bidding strategies and which ones you recommend for our goals? Answer. Facebook offers various bidding strategies, including lowest cost, automatic bidding, cost cap, manual bidding. The best strategy depends on goals and budget. For example, if you want to maximize results within a specific budget, I might recommend using a cost cap strategy to control costs. On the other hand, if you're looking for the most efficient ad delivery, the lowest cost strategy could be more suitable. Sorry, there's 10, so I'll go number 9. How do you handle campaign scaling while maintaining performance? This is another one they ask a lot, right? They want, when they're increasing the budget, they want to make sure they are still seeing good results, right? So answer. Scaling campaigns requires a careful balance between growth and maintaining performance. I recommend scaling gradually, monitoring performance closely, and adjusting targeting budgets and creatives as needed. This ensures that we expand the campaign, we maintain desired performance, and continue to optimize for the best results. And number 10, what kind of reporting do you provide, and how often will we receive updates on our campaign performance? So I say I believe in transparent communication and keeping clients informed about their campaign performance. I provide detailed reports on a bi-weekly basis or a monthly basis. Some of the bigger clients want it on a weekly basis. But I'm like, that's a week's worth of data is very volatile and scares clients a lot, because it'll be like one week it's like, oh, we did really good, and the next week we didn't do so great, but overall for the month we're good. You know what I mean? So I try to always recommend bi-weekly. So depending on performance, these reports include key performance metrics, insights, and recommendations for further optimization. In addition, I'm always available for updates or meetings to discuss any concerns or questions you might have. My goal is to ensure you're well informed and confident about the progress and direction of your Facebook advertising campaigns. Bada bing, bada boom. I would also recommend, sorry, I was reading a comment and I got distracted about what I was going to say. Yes, the cost is $2,000. I also have mock interviews with the freelancers in there as well. And yeah, sorry if that was long-winded and for the ones who didn't care to hear all that, but there you go, you got it. How do you get away from clients wanting you in-house, say a day a week, versus an ad agency? Okay, so there's a lot of ways to do that. I have it in my proposal when I send it over to a client as to why it makes sense to hire somebody who is an in-house or at an agency. Let me read it too. It basically says, I act as a full-time employee, but you don't have to pay me the full-time employee benefits, right? You can call me anytime. I actually act better as a full-time employee because you can call me on Saturdays and I will answer my phone, or you can send me an email on Saturdays and I will respond to you. So I am better than a full-time in-house employee, but you don't have to pay me a salary or pay my benefits. And so then they'll say like, okay, well then why should we hire you over an agency? And I mean, I can go for days on how agencies are whack as hell. And the majority of my clients come from me because they have been burned by agencies, right? Agencies are just, they care about their bottom line, which is generating more clients and more income, and they will put you as a client into their massive general structure that's the same for every client. And when it comes to Facebook ads especially, what works for one client doesn't work for another client, and that model is really damaging to individual clients. All of my clients have different targeting, different everything, and it's based on things we've tested for each individual client and seeing what works for them. And so you won't get that when you have an agency, right? They're just going to put you into their generic structure and set it and forget it. Agencies kind of suck. How much of your profit goes to your outsourced team? So I don't do it on a strict percentage basis. So this is how I do it, right? I book a client. Once I've booked a client, there's a 2-week onboarding process. I send them an onboarding checklist, which is also in the course. And that gives them time to fill that out for 2 weeks, and it gives me time to set myself up into all of their accounts, and it gives me time to go look for somebody to do the work. Right now I have a pool, so I don't really have to take much time, but if I didn't have that pool, I would still now have 2 weeks to go over to Fiverr and vet somebody who I think would be a good fit. I do that by searching and on Fiverr based on ratings and reviews, and you can see portfolio work if they've got good references of previous work, and then I hop on a call and I vet them. I have questions that I ask the freelancers in the course as well. And I pay them, and so when I'm vetting them and searching for them, right, they list what they charge. So say they charge $25 an hour, and I have a client that's paying me $5,000 a month. I would go ahead and get on the phone with this freelancer and be like, hey, based on everything I'm telling you, how because I work on monthly retainers, right? I'm not going to pay them hourly. It's not productive whatsoever. They don't like it either. It's just kind of what Fiverr offers. So I tell them like, hey, I'm going to put you on a monthly retainer, right? This is going to be what you're expected to do. How many hours do you think it's going to do it? And we can set you up on a monthly retainer that way. And they'll be like, oh, it's going to take me 6 hours. So 6 times 25, whatever that is, I don't do math in my head. Is obviously still works really well in my favor. So it depends. Sometimes they want $100 an hour. Sometimes they want $80 an hour. Sometimes they want $25 an hour. It's based on a individual basis. So it's not like a direct percentage wise, but I don't haggle the freelancers. If they're like, hey, I want $25 an hour, I'm like, cool, you got it. If it makes sense based on what I'm getting from the client, right? If the client's only going to pay me $1,000 a month, it might not make sense to hire somebody who wants $50 an hour to do it. Sarah, you don't understand the dynamics of managing a client and the work, etc. So I do have it in the course in Freelancer Systems. So once you've got the client onboarded after the 2-week onboarding process, right, what should happen is you give the freelancers the templates for the reports that you want. So you're like, here, this is you. If they're going to be running their Facebook ads, they'll understand how to do it, right? This is if they've got plenty of previous experience, right? So you don't have to do training necessarily. The only training they'll have to do is training on the client themselves, which is what the onboarding checklist will help them do. And so once the client finishes the onboarding checklist, you also give it to your freelancer. You give your freelancer access to all of their accounts too. It's in the contracts with the clients that you work with the team so that the team is allowed to have access to your clients as well. Everybody signs contracts. And then how I structure it is they send me reports on Monday. So the freelancer, I give them the template of the report, which you have in the course. And on Mondays, they complete the report and they send it to me. I then send it to the client. And then the client usually either is like, let's hop on a call to review, or they're like, you know what, good job, keep moving forward. I'm not going to waste my time talking to you on the phone. It's fine. And that's really it. There's not a bunch of management. The client, sometimes on the calls, or if there's promos going on or there's special features, they will email me saying hey, this month we really want to feature these products. Here are the creatives. I just forward that email. I don't even have direct communication sometimes with the freelancer. I just forward it to them. Okay, here, look, this is what they said, do it, It's really not as complicated as it might seem. When do you recommend to clients to increase ad spend? You typically don't need to, right? If they're seeing good sales and good results, they're going to be like, when are we up in the budget? When are we up in the budget? But if they're not doing that, if you've got 2-3 weeks of good results, let's crank up this budget. Also depends on what it is that they're doing. Sometimes I'll have a client who we're getting great results and we can't crank up the budget because they don't have enough inventory. So it all depends. So you can always recommend it if results are good. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my music. What's happening here? Thanks for always joining my lives, guys. I always forget to check the time before I go live because I always try to at least go live for an hour. I didn't check the time when I started this live. What is my opinion on data analytics? I don't really have too much of an opinion. I know it is a high in demand skill, and AI has made it worlds easier. So if it's something you're looking to do as far as a digital skill, I think it's a great digital skill to have and to learn and to be able to offer, but I can't speak on it in the sense of personal experience because I don't have any. Do you give your freelancers direct access to your client's account to post? So they don't, okay, I'm not sure if you mean post social posts, because we don't do social posts. I don't do a social post on their account, right? We run ads specifically. and you don't need direct access to their account. You just need direct access to their ads manager account. And yes, I give that to the freelancer. And yes, it's in the contracts with the clients. It's not like... How do you recommend how much for clients to spend on ads budget? So it's all relative, right? Results are the same no matter how much you spend. It's just the more you spend, the faster the results you'll get because it's based on reach, right? So if you spend $100 a day, say you'll hit, these are arbitrary numbers, you'll hit 100 people a day. If you spend $1,000 a day, you'll hit 1,000 people a day. So your chance for conversion is a lot higher when you're spending $1,000 a day because you're reaching more people. But you will get the same results. It's just going to take you a lot longer with a lower budget. That being said, it is pay for play. You gotta spend money to get some results. So I usually say $5,000 is a minimum budget if you want to actually play the game. Oh shoot. Sorry if that paused me. You hear a puppy. There's a puppy. Hey! Sebastian! We got him stairs onto the bed and he's still... Yes, $5,000 per month. Sebastian! Come here! Come here! You can't go to your stairs? Come here! Come here. Come here. Come here. He's, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. This is Doggy. This is Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian. Oh, hey. He's shy. He's a battered dog. We found him on the street and he was in really rough shape. So he's, you know, he's got little anxiety issues, but he's a good boy. He's so good. I know, some people are sick. They just... How could you leave him on the street? Yeah, this is Sebastian. We have cats, Jean Ralphio and Mona Lisa, so if you've ever seen Parks and Recreation, this is little Sebastian. You were starting to confuse social media management with this framework. Thanks for clarifying. So social media management is definitely a skill, a digital skill that you can offer, but it's completely different from the ad space. Can you add music to Facebook ads, and do you usually do that for the Facebook ads? You can. You can't do it through the ad platform. You probably could in like their creator hub. It's not like TikTok. TikTok, you could do it right there in where you're actually inputting the ad. But you can add music to the ad prior to that if you have some sort of software that can do it. But the client always provides the creative. And so if they want to add music to it, if music's necessary, a lot of times now with Facebook, it's like they'll automatically optimize it and put music to it if you opt to do that, but you can't even hear what the music's going to be, so I don't like that. Thanks for all the info. You're going to sign up for the class. That's amazing. I know you're going to love it. I have yet to get a single complaint about it, so that makes me feel really good. Did you try to do social media management? Is it more time? So, social media management is vital. Every company needs social media management. You have to be posting on social. You have to be engaging. It is so much work. Running one Instagram account is a full-time job. If you want to actually post, be consistent, and work on organic engagement, right? Where it's like going out to other accounts, leaving comments, liking, following relevant people. It's such a full-time job. And the pay is so little. It's like a teacher, right? You do so much work that's vital, and it's never even appreciated, right? Because you can't see the dollar amount being brought in from organic posts. So it's really frustrating because it's so much more work, and it gets paid so much less. Some people like it though, like teaching. Some people like it. So you're going to sign up for the course finally. You're so excited. I'm so excited too. Woohoo! Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to be hosting a students only live. And I'll probably be doing that like on Google Meet, so it's more interactive. And I think that'll be really fun. I'm going to take a poll in the mentorship group, so get your questions ready, students. We're going to have a really good time, and I'll see what time works best for everybody. I'm going to maybe try to do it once a month for students. I think that would be really beneficial. You don't want to have to create content. It is so time consuming. That's why I don't create content. Don't do it. I have somebody who runs my Instagram for me because it's a full-time job. How many accounts can you have on your TikTok ads account while running your own ads? I'm not sure. I know on Facebook it's like 50, so I wouldn't worry about it. And that's just how many you can actually physically create yourself. Like, I could create 50 ad accounts for myself if I wanted to on Facebook. But I think you can manage infinite amount because you're just a person who's getting access to their account, right? I'll maybe, if you guys think that this live was beneficial, I will put it on my YouTube. I've been putting a lot of lives on my YouTube, mainly the ones that I feel are very value-packed. So if you feel this one was value-packed, I did answer all of those client questions. So if that's really valuable to you guys, I will upload this one to YouTube. Is it better to charge by the job or by the hour? By monthly retainer, for sure. You tried to get ChatGPT for your Chrome today and you're lost in how to use it all. I am putting a full AI guide into the course. I might sell it separately as well. It'll definitely go into the course. And it's going to be a very beginner friendly that gets you to expert in using AI, and I'm going to use it for both personal life and for business life. I'm really excited. I have the outline already prepared. I just have to film it. Also, email marketing is going into the course. That too is outlined. I just have to film it. And then I gotta edit it and upload it for you guys. So when you purchase the course, you will get access. The course, you will always have access to everything I update. So even if I sell things separately, I'm still gonna put it in the main course. And as soon as you buy the course, whenever these updates go live, you automatically receive them, and I will send you an email that links directly to them. You're a social media manager for 3 different accounts in 3 different industries, and it's a shit show. I bet. And then they're always petty. They're so petty about stuff that doesn't matter. They'll be like, this photo doesn't look good on my grid. It's like, no one's cared what their grid looks like since 2011. Like, you just gotta post content. Your grid isn't supposed to be pretty anymore. And it'll just be like, oh, why are we posting this? This doesn't make sense. And it's like, maybe it doesn't make sense to you, but your audience likes it, so why wouldn't we post it? Like, they're just so petty. Like, the girl who runs my social media account, she has other clients too, and she's always telling me stuff like that. And I'm always like, I don't care. Content just needs to get posted. We're at a point to where, you do have to have quality posts, but they don't have to be perfect. The link for the course is in my bio. It's the 10-hour 10K framework. What is the course about? Everything you have is genius. Well, thank you. That's so nice. So let me go over it briefly. I'm sorry for everybody who's always heard me say it a million times, but I'm going to say it 1,000,001. So what the course is about, right? It's the 10-hour 10K work month, and it is a framework that allows you to make $10,000 a month. You can make way more. I'm making way more now, and you only have to work 10 hours a month to do it. Obviously, in the beginning, you have to put in some groundwork. But I always say if you put in a couple hours every day consistently for 6 months, you could easily be at the 10-hour, 10K mark. Sorry, doggy. And so how I teach you to do this is first you need a digital skill, right? If you already have a digital skill, a lot of people do, whether or not they even realize it, graphic design, SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, bookkeeping, Excel. There's infinite. Data analytics, somebody was talking about in here. So if you have a digital skill, the course is great for you. If you don't have a digital skill, don't worry, I put in digital skills for you to learn from an expert level. I teach you how to do TikTok advertising, and I teach you how to do Facebook/Instagram advertising, and that is not creating ads, that's not UGC. We're going to be managing ad accounts, brands accounts. We're the ones spending the money and optimizing and making sure that they get profits. So that those skills pay really, really well, because if you're making a company money and they can directly see how much you're making them, you can demand a high pay. So I teach you those skills. I manage millions of dollars a year on Facebook and TikTok for brands. So I go directly into clients' accounts and show you exactly how to do it, which is something you don't get from a lot of courses. They'll teach you the very basics, and they don't teach you ongoing optimization, which I do in the course. Then I teach you how to position yourself as an expert. All your social channels need to look like, website, I show you how to build all of that. Then once you've become the go-to person in your skill by positioning yourself as an expert, I show you how to book work, where to actually book the work, how to book it. I give you every single template you will possibly need for this. So contract templates, proposal templates, cover letter templates, scope of services, every piece of document you would need. There's mock interviews with clients. And then what makes it working only 10 hours a month, I show you how to outsource all of the work so that you are just client facing and quality control, and you don't do any of the work. So you're essentially operating as a mini agency. And then it also comes to the mentorship group. So you'll have an instant community of others who are doing the same thing as you, and I'm also in that mentorship group as well. So I hope that explains it. How should you determine a digital skill you would be best at? It's kind of like a hobby, right? What interests you? When do you plan on having a members only live? I will take a poll in the Facebook mentorship group of when and like what time works best for almost, everybody. I'll also download it too and then share it with you guys afterwards. So stay tuned. Copywriting is a great digital skill, especially with ChatGPT. Okay, I will add it to YouTube, and I will send you guys out an email once it's live on YouTube. Look like you could be the captain of a sailboat. Well, thank you. I'm very coastal grandma today. Thank you. Somebody Apparel says, I found your course very valuable and well worth it. Thank you. I appreciate it. How can my husband use AI to make money? He really only has customer service and sales experience. So AI is an efficiency tool, right? So everything that he's doing sales-wise, if he can automate it, I use it for email responses all the time. A client will email me questions, and I will literally copy that email into ChatGPT and say, like, hey, respond to this as if you were a Facebook advertising expert. And they do. And that's not because I can't respond. Obviously I can, and I know what I'm talking about. It's just, it would take me 15 to 20 minutes to respond when it takes me 3 minutes to respond. And it's just efficient. And then anything else that he does in his day-to-day, if he's doing data analytics for his sales, if he's trying to figure out how to optimize his workflow, or, best ways to get more leads because he's in sales. I do have an AI guide that I'm going to be adding to the course. I've been thinking about selling it separately as well, but it will be in the course for sure. And it's going to be a super comprehensive guide, and it's going to be beginner friendly, and then go into, you will be an expert at using AI and ChatGPT and all the other AI softwares that I use, to automate, to streamline, and to make you efficient. And it will be about everyday things, like personal everyday life and business. I've already got the outline. I just have to record it. It's super, super juicy. And I've got all of my really good prompts in there. So if you purchase the course, get excited because it's coming. And you will automatically receive the update as soon as it's live. Can you talk about finding a niche in the type of clients? You mentioned yours is in skincare. Yeah, it's beauty, skincare. Do I have some clients outside of that? Yes, I do, but the majority of them are that, and it helps me get more clients in that space because now I'm the expert in that space, right? I think what helps me is I am the consumer of beauty and skincare. I like beauty and skincare products, so I am the consumer, and I know it helps me marketing to that audience because I am the audience. And it's something I like, so it makes it easy for me. What insurance do you use for someone who works for themselves, scared of prices? Okay, so my husband doesn't work, right? He's a stay-at-home dad, and we have one child, and I pay around $414 for our insurance. And that's for all three of us, and it's good insurance. Healthcare.gov, you have a plethora of options for healthcare. They make it so scary, like, oh, if you don't have a job, you won't have healthcare, and it's like, there were plans when I was single that were $199 a month. You pay more than that at your job, I guarantee you. They make it really easy and cheap for single payers or people who are self-employed, like super easy. It's always like, oh, you can't lose your job, insurance. It's cheaper than a car payment. Any advice for someone who wants to quit? You should quit, but I don't ever recommend quitting with no income, right? So I recommend building this up on the side and using your drive for wanting to quit as motivation. And if you do this on the side for 6 months, you could easily quit your job in 6 months. 6 months is going to come really quick, and whether you put forth work or not. And in 6 months, you can either be ready to quit your job, or you can just have a bunch of excuses, you know? Any recommendations for those who can't afford the course yet? So there is a payment plan option. I'm at the mercy of the platform, and they allow 4 interest-free installments of like $4.97. If that helps. But other than that, I do try to put out as much as free content as possible. What state are you in? Because health insurance here in Texas is high, more like $800 for a couple. Have you shopped around, and is that as self-employed? I'm in Florida. How many hours do you have to put in weekly to begin with? Not many. I'm telling you, if you do... The main thing is to do one thing every day to move yourself forward, right? You can't be going hard every single day. That's unrealistic, right? But if you have some days that are off, that's fine. Just do one thing. You know, write one email, update one social media post, do one thing that just moves you forward each day. You'll feel good, and it'll just keep you in that motivated trajectory. If you do this on the side and do 5 days a week, 2 hours a day for 6 months, I promise you'd be in a good place. So it's really not that much. Ohio, you pay over $1,000 a month for a family of 3 with a $7,000 deductible each. I would recommend shopping around because that doesn't sound normal to me. How do you not have your laptop overheat when you're working at the beach? Very curious. I have an umbrella, so I'm not in direct sun. Good question. Do you have a website? If not, why did you decide not to? I have a website, digitallauraanderson.com. There are some parts that are missing on the website right now. I haven't updated it because I had to remove some stuff. Like I had my current clients on there. And I had to remove that because TikTok is filled with a lot of shitty people and they were reaching out to my clients. So unfortunately I had to remove my clients and some of my case studies as well. So if it looks like things are missing, like that's why. but it's digitallauranderson.com. And then I have a website for my course, which is 10hour10kworkmonth.com. I always recommend having a website. It's just that extra bit of foundation that you are legitimate. Do you ever do workshops for those who can't afford the payment plan? I kind of take that as that's what these lives are, right? Everybody can come in, ask questions. I could structure a live better if you guys want. If that's something you guys are interested in, I can like do a structured live where I have like an itinerary to talk about. But other than that, you're in Florida too? Tampa Bay area, very cool. I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area, East Coast. Oh, thanks for my mustache and hat. Cool. I look like a cool cowboy. Um, yes, there is a course, Heidi. You can find out more information about it in my link in bio. It's called the 10 Hour 10K Work Month course. What are some other words other than TikTok Ads Manager would be good to use for the job search? So just TikTok. Also media buyer, social ads, paid media. Those are good ones. How can you leverage AI and make the most money from it? So there are, so many ways you can do that. And you can now build websites in 3 minutes with AI. You can become a copywriter who can write a book in 20 minutes. There are so many things you can do. People are creating trading bots and trading on the stock market and making a lot of money. I saw somewhere that the financial advice from ChatGPT has been surpassing that of real financial advisors. So that's a way you can generate blog posts on a certain subject. I write all my blog posts using ChatGPT. You can learn a digital skill and have ChatGPT help you, AI help you make it easier. And then you have to market yourself and you have to sell those skills. Kendall, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're loving the course. Concentrating on copywriting will keep me posted and let me know how it's going. Is it much more difficult to find clients when you have a niche? No, I think it's easier. Oh, you're in Boca. I love Boca. Any training in person? So not yet. I'm thinking of doing a meetup eventually. I think that would be really fun. Like I'll rent out a space and we can do a meetup. I think that would be fun, but nothing in the works yet. How do you build a website with ChatGPT in 3 minutes? So I don't use ChatGPT. You can use 10web or you can use Durable. You can have ChatGPT write you the context for the website, right? So what kind of website do you need? Say I am a Facebook advertising consultant. I will go to Durable, tell it that's the website I need it to be built, and then it'll have everything built out for me. And then I can go over to ChatGPT and be like, hey, I'm a Facebook advertising expert. Like, I have a website and I need you to write the content page for my services, and I will write it out and you copy and paste it in there, and so on and so forth. And in the IA training that I give, that I'm going to be adding into the course, we'll have all of that. Have you tried the Chrome AI programs instead of ChatGPT? I've tried a lot, so you'd have to be more specific. What's the best way to market yourself? Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed. If you started today, would you outsource or do it from yourself in the beginning? If I were to start today, I would outsource from the very get-go. That was a really hard thing for me to do, mainly because in the beginning I didn't know that's what I was going to do, right? I didn't know I was going to be outsourcing. I didn't know that this was going to turn into a business or anything like that. So when I decided to outsource, it was because I was like, hey, I have all these clients who want to work with me, but I don't have the bandwidth anymore. I need to hire help. And it's a really hard hurdle to get over, right? Because you have all of these what ifs in your heads. Well, first of all, the biggest what if is like, oh, it's my money. I want all of the money for myself, right? Um, and then second of all, it's like, oh, I'll never find anybody who can do it as good as me, which is like, some of my freelancers are way better than me. They just don't like dealing with clients, so they'd rather stay on that side. Which is fine. Sometimes they make more than me out of our relationship, and they don't have to deal with the client. It's mutually beneficial in that sense. But once I did finally start outsourcing, I was able to concentrate on what was important, and what was important was bringing in more money, more clients. And I actually started to make way more money, and I started to work way less. So it was way better, and I was like, man, why hadn't I done this like eons ago? Ooh, what AI is best for creating presentations and slides? I'm glad you asked because this is one of my favorite ones. It's called Gamma AI and it is free and it is chef's kiss. It's so good. It's so good. Just try it. Did you ever find or hire an assistant? I did. She started this week and so far so good. So I'm very happy with her. Where's the link to the course? It's in my bio. TikTok doesn't like links in bio, so it's not just my link in bio. Sometimes you have to click it, then click out, and then click it again for it to load. It's called the 10-hour 10K work month framework. I know it's a hassle. How do you avoid freelancers stealing your clients if they communicate directly with them? So I get this question a lot. A lot of people are scared of that. Okay, first thing you have to understand is this is how all businesses operate, right? You have an agency, you hire employees. Can those employees technically steal your client and run away with them? Kind of, they could. They don't have the framework in place that your client is expecting, right? So first of all, first things first, there's contracts in place, right? If your client or if your freelancer does that, you can sue them. So they sign a contract before you give them the client information, and you could sue them. Second of all, you don't technically bite the hand that feeds you, right? If you're feeding a freelancer clients, right, they're not going to be like, oh, let me burn this bridge. And third of all, there's a reason why they are on that side. That is because either they can't book clients themselves or they don't like to book clients themselves. They like to be on this end where they don't have to deal with clients and they like to do their own thing. So, I mean, in my 10 years of experience, that's never once happened. Could it happen? Of course. Anything can happen. That's a risk. That's a business risk. Everything you do in business is a risk. And if that's the case, and clients typically don't go for that, right? It is shady, and they're like, "Ooh, you're kind of gross. I'm not gonna do that." Like, so don't. It's not something you have to actually be in your head thinking about and worrying about. I promise. There's gonna be tons of risks you're gonna have to deal with, and some are gonna hit you, and some just aren't. What is Gamma AI? It is like a presentation deck AI software. You tell it what you need, like, hey, make me I have a client that I'm submitting a proposal to for Facebook ads. Draft me up a proposal, make it look really pretty, make it have these specifications, and it'll go ahead and do it. And then you can edit it based it on what you want, and it'll do it with all the images, all the slides, graphs, charts, make it look really beautiful. And it's free. What activities do you outsource and where do you go for freelancers? I find freelancers on Fiverr. They do everything except client facing and quality control, right? So they do all of the work. I review, they'll send me the reports on Monday. I review the reports, and then I am the one who sends it over to the client. And then I have client calls. A lot of times clients don't even want to hop on the call. But yes, they do everything else except I am client facing and quality control. It's just like an account manager. Gamma is awesome. Waiting for their web hosting. Very, very cool. Yes. But I do think I've been live for an hour now. I'm taking in all your guys' considerations. So I will post this live on YouTube. If you want to get notified, sign up for my newsletter. It's in my link in bio. I give out some really good newsletters with really good information in there, and I will send you this directly once it's live on YouTube. And thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me that you guys joined my live. I do have to get going. I try to go live as often as possible. I go live like 4 or 5 times a week for you guys. And I love it. I love going live with you guys. I love all the questions. They also help me think of more things I can give to you. So I really appreciate it. If I didn't get to answer your question, please feel free to leave it on my most recent video. I will, 90% of the time, I'll answer it. If you want more information about the course, you can find that in my link in bio. It's the 10-hour 10K work month course. There is a payment plan option linked in the checkout page. If that is better for you, you have my newsletters in my bio. If you want to follow me on Instagram and YouTube, those are also in my bio because I put out different content everywhere. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Have a happy Thursday, and I will see and talk to you guys soon.